Cheese and wine are essential ingredients for a great party, almost as important as the guests and decor. But what's the best way to pair everything, especially with a crowd with diverse tastes? Here's our wine and cheese pairing 101. I'm here with Sue Riedl, cheese and wine expert, and you're here to talk to us today about wine and cheese, some of my favorite things, of course, especially over the holidays. First question I had for you is, when it comes to serving my guests, how much cheese am I supposed to serve them, and how many glasses of wine should I buy? Or bottles of wine, I guess.
I think, a guideline is, I think if cheese is kind of the center point of your table with a few other appetizers, 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces per person per cheese. Let's assume 3 cheeses.
Okay.
And you could do a little bit less, like if you're having a cocktail party over the holidays and you have a whole bunch of stuff, you could go about 3/4 ounces. But talk to your cheesemonger. That's the best source of information. Tell them what else you're having and they can help you out. And in regards to wine, again, if you're having kind of a drop-in or something longer, you can assume maybe a glass per hour per person. And if you're having something a little bit more intimate, it's pretty safe to assume 3 glasses per person for the whole night, but I would buy a little bit extra just in case.
Yeah, that's a good idea for a backup, right?
Yeah, and don't forget, if you're trying to calculate, it's about 5 glasses, depending how you pour per bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're splitting it between white and red and you're not sure, are we going to have more red wine drinkers, more white wine? I usually, instead of just going 50-50, I'll buy like 10% more of each, and then usually you can return your unopened bottles.
Or drink it later.
Yeah, I've never returned them myself, but you can.
Okay, so just me? All right. Now, if you were to pick a wine that pairs best with cheese, what would you suggest?
So what I try to say is maybe the friendliest wine, if you're just choosing one, is a white wine. And the reason is it doesn't have the tannins that are in a red wine, and they can kind of clash with the creaminess of a cheese. So it's the most friendly. It's not always the best because that's subjective, but I would choose something like a Riesling, which is already a very food-friendly wine, has a nice acidity. Even something a little bit off-dry can work with a cheese.
Yeah, I was going to say Riesling's a little bit sweeter, isn't it?
Yeah, you can get a dry or an off-dry, but they'll both work very nicely, as well as a Sauvignon Blanc. Again, it's very crisp, it's nice. It's going to be very cleansing, so it's a nice textural complement. And, of course, sparkling wine or champagne over the holidays.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Like, imagine a triple cream, and then those bubbles, and it's just beautiful.
Oh, that sounds really nice.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a big red wine drinker, so if I want to serve red wine, do you have a suggestion for which one would pair best with cheese?
Yeah, and I think also in the winter, people tend to go red, and for sure you can do that. I would just say, again, you want to avoid really big or harsh tannins, so get something that's aged, something a little bit fruity usually works, and maybe like an aged Rioja, fruity Valpolicella from Italy.
I love the way you say all this. It's so nice. I just want to listen to you talk about wine all day.
I practiced it like 110 times.
Good, you're doing really well.
What else? Or something like a Pinot Noir. It doesn't have a lot of tannins. It has some fruit to it. And again, just think about, you don't want one to overwhelm the other. So it's just like food pairing. If you have a big cheese, you want a bigger wine. Yeah.
Well, I'm hungry already, and I'm ready to celebrate for the holidays. Thank you so much, Sue.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And for more great tips for the holidays, take a look around at iVillage.ca.